Hello, everybody. I want to just make sure that I give you a quick, nice intro of what we're trying to do here. I just installed the Mantel Mount Model 540, and this should help you with all the Mantel Mounts. But I wanted to kind of give you some tips and tricks to save you some time. My total install is about 3 hours, 2-man job, which you'll see in the video. But hopefully this will save you about an hour and a half. So your target time is from an hour to 2 hours to get this Mantel Mount going. It's a great product. I'm not endorsed by them, but at the end of the day, there's definitely a lot more things you got to consider versus a regular TV mount. I apologize ahead of time. I get pretty serious in this because I noticed that my tone was getting a little bit too serious. But the idea is really to help you guys and help everybody out there to make sure if you buy the Mantel Mount that you save some time, and again, make sure that your expensive TV is protected and you get all the features and benefits from it. All right? Aloha mabuhay, everybody out there in the interwebs. Today, I'm going to go and try to give you some good tips to save you tons of time on installing a Mantel Mount. This one happens to be the 540 model with the bottom portion to hold your soundbar. So why the Mantel Mount? The main thing is that it goes up and down above your mantle, and you could actually see eye view when you're watching TV. Okay, that being said, let's get into the install. What are the tools that we need? We need a leveler, a bubble leveler. If you don't know what that is, please take a look at it. You should have one in your house anyway. Stud finder, right? They can go from $10 up to the hundreds of dollars. $10 one is fine. You need a pencil, okay? You need a drill. And then you need bits to do pre-drilling holes. The size of the drill bits you need are the side of before the screw is threaded. Say there's threads in there, so you want it smaller than that so it can bite down. Okay? Go and rewind if you need to, so you can understand what I'm saying. You make sure when you pre-drill the holes, they are deep enough. All right? Make sure they're deep enough, the length, right? You don't want your studs to crack. You need a socket set, so you can go ahead and turn these long screws into the wall and some other areas too, some other areas as well, right? You need a wrench set or pliers because you're going to go ahead and lock in the bolts from the actual screws, and you need some Allen wrenches. That being said, take that template out, get as flat as possible. Make sure you know where the holes end up being. You see the holes are on top and the holes will be on the bottom. I say this to you because I screwed up one time, and not just this install, and had to redo it all and remeasure. Okay? Here's a key step coming up. Assemble everything on the floor. Your 2 wall mounts and your extension arm. I got the TV mount on there right now, but just at least the wall brackets and the extension arm are on the floor, so you know how where the top of the TV is going to be, and you know where the bottom of the TV plus the sound bar is going to be. Rewind this if you don't know what I'm saying, because this is really key. Really, really, really key. So you can measure. Okay? That being said, after you install these 2 bars, do not tighten them all the way, right? Your mission here is to make sure that you can fit the extension arm in between these 2 wall mounts. That's the mission. Remember, you're assembling it, so then you can go ahead and do this. You are going to install the extension arm and hand tighten the screws on the top and bottom of those brackets. So after you put it on the wall, do not tighten, because you got to take them off and then do this, and voila. Then you put it on the wall. You can tell here that it's not centered on the brackets. That is the reason for those brackets being so long. So you can move it right to left so you can center it towards your mantle. Rewind again if you don't understand what I'm saying. Okay? Now here's the other key piece too. Is that TV mount. You go ahead and hook it to the very top. Look at the instructions. I might have a little picture with arrow here, and you screw it from the back. Now, I didn't notice this, but there's actually little holes that you can screw them in if you go ahead and take the tilting plate and move it all the way back to 0. Okay? The next piece here, tip and trick, is the fact that do not screw in the extensions after you measure where the TV is going to land. The bottom extension, you're going to have the piece that goes to the TV. That's okay. That's tight. But the extension, loosen it because you got to wiggle the speaker mount on the bottom. Okay? Just showing you a quick tip that I found later, that you can go move the extension all the way forward, your extension arm, and then go ahead and play around with the tilting piece as well as tighten up your TV mount. Okay, hope this is helping you. Now, this is the TV mount. You got the TV on it, hooked on, and now you're adding another screw, right? So you can make sure that the TV mount that's on the TV and the TV mount that's on the extension arm are tight. And then this is the same thing with the speaker. You don't want it to be too tight. You want to make sure it's centered. You want to make sure you double, triple, quadruple measure everything to make sure your soundbar, it has the right height and all that kind of stuff. And then you go ahead and tighten from the back. This is a two-man job, like I was mentioning, between the weight and your expensive TV, make sure it doesn't fall. You need somebody to put that Allen wrench on the tightening side. You need somebody to hold the bolt on the back side because they're plastic locks, plastic bolt locks, nuts. And then after all this is said and done, you're going to go ahead and leverage this with your instructions to make sure when you're moving your TV up and down, it stays where it's supposed to be with the most minimal effort. And this takes some time, so be patient. Then go ahead and add your covering blocks, because what you're going to see here in the very end is you're going to see that you actually see this when you put the TV all the way down. You will actually see where you actually mount everything. Now, don't judge me. This is still the first phase. I didn't hide the wires behind the wall yet, but this is what it looks like when it's all the way up. You may have a big gap between your TV and your speaker. You can adjust that later, but this is what it looks like. And then this is what it looks like when it's all the way down. Look at the very top of the picture. Sorry, it's not bigger, but you see where you mount it. So you want to make sure that you put those plastic covers on there that are actually paintable. Okay. I'm hoping this all helps save you do the install for an hour and a half versus 3 hours. Ching. All right, that was a quick tips and tricks of the install of the Mantel Mount, specifically the model 540. But I believe it's going to help with all the models, and hopefully saves you some time. The goal was that we did it in about 3+ hours, and with the mistakes that we did, and I'm not above making mistakes, but it didn't hurt anything. At the same time, hopefully you take those and you go ahead and do your install in about an hour and 2 hours. And again, it's a two-man job. Get some help and be patient about it. It's a solid product. I'm not sponsored by it, but at the end of the day, and sorry I keep using these phrases, it is going to be worth it. All right?